Here's everything I read in July, yes, no, maybe edition, because I read 20 books last month and it's a lot to get through. Disclaimer, yes, I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, but I do read along as I listen. It just helps me read the book quicker and I enjoy it more, so. Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. Yes, if you can handle the taboo and twisted and just the most weird shit you'll read about. Particularly if you love taboo and sort of teaching moments. Absolutely yes. Beyond Vengeance, which was book 4 in the Pacific Prep series, so the final book of the series. Absolutely yes for the entire series. It was superb. If you liked J. Bree, Hannaford Prep, or like is it Casey Keene, My Bloodline series, things like that, you'll absolutely love this. I read When the Moon Hatched, obviously. This is going to be a maybe. I definitely struggled somewhat in the beginning reading this. The writing is beautiful, it's poetic, it's descriptive, it's delightful. It's just not always what I'm in the mood for. And if you're new to fantasy and that's not something that you're into and you want something a bit more fast-paced, easier reading, it may not be for you. I tried both the audio because it is on Scribd and I did the ebook as well. But yes, overall, I enjoyed the whole story. I am going to continue with the series. I'm very excited to see where it goes, but it is not my favourite. Love Me Today by A.L. Jackson. Yes, absolutely. If you love romantic suspense, if you are a fan of Catherine Cowles, absolutely you will love these. It's like a single parent, employer-employee situation. 1000% grumpy sunshine goodness. It's just delightful. I read the books 1 to 5 of the Fever series by Kay Marie Monning. This was just my entire world for a whole weekend. I absolutely devoured these first 5 books. Books 1 and 2, okay, enjoyable. They sucked me in. From book 3 onwards, it is a roller coaster and you don't want to get off. It's kind of urban fantasy, but it's with fae. The fae are kind of dark in there. They're really dark and creepy and just awful. Lots of triggers to look out for in this series. There are some gang rape scenes. Dubious consent galore. Just, yes, be careful. Jericho Barons is now my boo. I love him just so yes, absolutely yes for the whole series. I will potentially read the rest of the series, but I'm happy where I've stopped at the moment. Ensnared and Entangled by Rebecca Quinn, which is the first 2 books in the Brutes of Bristlebrook series. Did I get that right? That was hard. Absolutely amazing. I love it so much. It is reverse harem. Why choose goodness? It is her trading her body for safety, but obviously they all fall in love as well. And it's just, there are some toxic relationships here. There are some toxic men in here. But it's so good. The drama, the action, the suspense. Yes, absolutely. Go get them. I read Pack Rivals by Hannah Hayes, book 1 of a duet. It was okay. So a maybe. I did not immediately want to run and pick up the second book, so that's why we're in the maybe zone. But it was fun for what it was. It's an Omegaverse, 2 rival packs vying for the one. Omega, she believed she was a beta all her life. Now she discovers she's an Omega. They are fighting over her. The guys just didn't win me over. They were a little bit childish and immature, fighting between each other. It was not attractive. I obviously read Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Fun story, Callie Hart was the first dark romance author I ever picked up. It was the Blood and Roses series. I absolutely recommend that series, especially if you are new to dark romance and you just want to dip your toe in, because it's dark themed-ish. It's just not too much. It's perfect. So I love her writing. When I saw she was doing fantasy, I knew it was going to be so good. So absolutely 1000% yes. I will say this is for the romance people. If you are heavy onto the fantasy side, maybe this is not going to be the most fun for you. But I felt like she did fantasy really well and I loved it. If you love romance, if you love an MMC who's got a mouth on him, this is the book for you. And it was the book for me. And that's why I loved it so much. I'm absolutely chomping at the bit to get the next book. and I really hope that it's not going to be a mega long series, because as much as I love it, I want it to be done so I can enjoy it as a whole thing. Not great at waiting for a series to be complete, but I will do it for this one. I read Archangel's Consort, which is book 3 in the Angels Guild by Nalini Singh. It was okay. It was okay. It was okay. It was fine. It's a maybe. I don't think I'm going to continue with this series. The characters that are coming in the next books are not ones that I'm interested in. I've read the first 3 books. I've got an idea of what it's like. It was okay. I've read the first 4 books in the Kate Daniels series by Alona Andrews. I loved it so much. I didn't think I was going to like it. Book 1, I was not vibing with it, but I had a look at a lot of the reviews. They said that book 1 is not the best one, and to push through. I pushed through. 2 was slightly better. I think I gave it a 3.5. But for some reason it was just itching me to go back, and I did, and I'm glad that I did, because now I'm all in. The romance is very much a subplot. It is not what you're going in there for. But the little snippets that we get just keep me going. It is urban fantasy perfection. The gruesome fighting and the gory details is just, it's delightful. I've been listening to the graphic audio as well. I will say that is sometimes off-putting because there's a lot of background music. I don't always love that, but the voices are just perfection. So if you are going to give this series a try, like me, for the first time, don't worry if you don't love book 1. I did not. And I pushed through, and now I really love it, and I'm probably gonna continue this all the way through all the books. I also read Reign of Dragons, which is book 1 in the Dragon Dojo Brotherhood series. I think it's like an 8 or 9 book series. It was fun. There's a lot of action. That first book is really long. I think it was over 600 pages, which I was not expecting. But it was fun. It's kind of slow burn, enemies to lovers, yada yada yada. Yes, I do recommend it. It is a good first start to the series. I am currently reading book 2. The rest of the books in the series are a lot shorter. They're sort of 400 pages, so they're going to be easier for me to digest. It's sort of slowed down a little bit. I have problems with it, but overall I would recommend it. There's also a couple of books that I've started this month that I haven't quite finished, that I'm obviously now going to go finish in August. So special shout out to Sea of Ruin. I'm about halfway through this book. It's so good. It's so good. I absolutely love it. But I had to pause because the tension was ramping up, and I had the kids off for half term, and it was not the vibe. It was not the vibe. So I need to wait until I have some peace and quiet to finish that book so I can enjoy it thoroughly. Cottonwood by Arlie Smith is, I've never read anything like this book. It is my first Arlie Smith. I wanted the first one to be The Last Hour of Gan, but I just wanted to start with something a bit smaller to see if the writing was going to be for me. It is phenomenal. I don't even know how to describe it. I've never read anything like this before, and I read a lot of alien monster romances, but this is so different. It just feels like you're watching a sci-fi movie. And I'm just really excited to see where it goes, because I feel like this is the kind of book where we may not get a happy ever after. I don't know. I've tried to not spoil myself too much, but fingers crossed. But yeah, that's everything that I've read in the month of July. Did you read any of these? Are you going to read any of them? Let me know.